तो भाई आज करने वाले हैं भाई द मोस्ट टॉक्सिक कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड, बांग्लादेश के बारे में बात। चलो आप देखते हैं इस वीडियो में क्या है।
Bangladesh, the most polluted country in the world. It has the worst air quality globally. Breathing in these particles can reduce the life expectancy of its inhabitants by up to 7 years. Every day, 350
बुरा हाल है
tons
भाई
of
इनका।
garbage are dumped into its rivers.
ही हमारा भी हाल बुरा है, पर इनका भी हमसे ज्यादा ही है।
And drinking the water is like consuming poison due to its high levels of chemicals and arsenic. The noise in the cities is so extreme that many people suffer from permanent hearing loss. The meat consumed here absorbs all the metals in the air, becoming a source
अब ना ये चीज देख के ना आधे से ज्यादा जो भी बाहर के फॉरेनर्स हो गए ना, वो बोलेंगे ये तो इंडिया है, ये तो इंडिया है। भाई इंडिया नहीं है, इन्हें हर ब्राउन बंदा इंडियन ही दिखता है। आधे से ज़्यादा जो भी इंटरनेट में वीडियो वो होती है ना वायरल, ये लोग साले गंदगी अनहाइजीन फूड है, ये सारे तो आसपास के पड़ोसी बंदे जो होते हैं अपने, उनकी वीडियो होती है। हमारी भी होती है, ऐसा मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि हमारे यहाँ नहीं होता, पर मैक्सिमम वीडियो तुम देखोगे ना वो बाहर बांग्लादेश, पाकिस्तान, श्रीलंका, आसपास शहरों की होती, आसपास कंट्रियों की होती है वो।
of diseases for humans. What you're looking at right now was once a river. Today, we're going to witness the damage that humans can cause to the planet in the most toxic and polluted country on Earth. We are in Bangladesh, specifically in Dhaka, the most densely populated city on the planet, with areas that can
दिल्ली की याद दिला रहे, तो दिल्ली के कहाँ, करोल बाग, रोहिणी, गफार मार्केट वाला एरिया याद दिला रहा हूँ मुझे।
have up to 150,000 inhabitants in 1 square kilometer. I must say,
बहुत ज़्यादा दे रहे
I
हैं तो।
visited many polluted places around the world, such as India or Lahore, which is considered the most polluted city in Pakistan. But I have never seen anything
लाहौर,
like this. Here,
लाहौर बोल रहा, मेरे ख्याल से कराची है सबसे ज़्यादा पॉल्यूटेड पाकिस्तान की, और हमारे यहाँ इंडिया और वो मुंबई वाले स्लम्स।
the entire country is contaminated. The most shocking part is that what is visible to the naked eye is not the most dangerous. The garbage is actually the least of the problems. The real crisis is the toxic chemicals in the water and the particles in the air. What's in the air? Breathing in the city, you can feel something dense entering through your nose, and it's the
ये भाई दिल्ली की याद दिला रहे, देख दिल्ली में भी ऐसी है भाई, दिल्ली का भी बुरा हाल है। अब ये नहीं बोल सकते हमारे यहाँ नहीं है, दिल्ली का भी हाल बुरा ही हो रखा है भाई, वहाँ पे भी ऐसी है। पोल्यूशन,
mixture of
स्मोक नहीं, पोल्यूशन फॉग के नाम पे स्मोक हो रखा वहाँ। ठीक है, अभी मुझे लगता है सरकार को ध्यान देना चाहिए इन चीज़ में, क्योंकि भाई अगर ये दिल्ली में थोड़े थोड़े टाइम पे ये आगे आसपास के शहरों में भी फैलेगा, बढ़ सकता है, इसमें ध्यान देना चाहिए
smoke,
सरकार को।
coal that's in the air from heavy metals, dust, and all the pollution. Here are the highest levels of air pollution in the world. They are
Oh.
15 times worse than those recommended by the World Health Organization. It is estimated that breathing for 1 day in this city is equivalent to smoking about 25 cigarettes. Places like these, there are no precise studies, but
भाई स्पेनिश बोल रहा है क्या ये, क्या सीन है इसका, स्पेनिश बोल रहा है क्या ये? अच्छा स्पेनिश ही बोल रहा है ये,
it could be equivalent to 40
डब हो
or
रही है।
50 cigarettes. Seriously, your nose starts to hurt from how dense the air is. I want to see if you yourselves can appreciate in the distance something that looks like mist, which can no longer be clearly seen at the very end. That is the smoke mixed with dust and everything that I'm talking about. That's what we are breathing right now. The particles in the air are 30 times finer than a human hair and are loaded with heavy metals such as arsenic, lead, mercury, cadmium, and more. The old, poorly maintained engines running in the city also contribute to the pollution, emitting hydrocarbons, black carbon, sulfur dioxide, and other pollutants. These particles penetrate the lungs and enter the bloodstream, causing respiratory, cardiovascular, and even cancer diseases. Studies indicate that the inhabitants of Dhaka live on average 7 years less due to pollution. Brick factories are one of the main causes of air
भट्टी।
pollution in Dhaka. It is estimated that 7,000 brick factories across all of Bangladesh produce 23 billion bricks. And to prevent the authorities from interfering, it is said that they bribe them to avoid any type of regulation. As a result, these massive kilns burn wood, coal, and other fuels to produce bricks. And as you can see, everything goes directly into the air without any type of filter. They are responsible for roughly 60% of the air pollution in Dhaka. This also affects the food people consume. Meat sold in open-air markets absorbs all the particles in the air. Vendors wash the meat with water contaminated with arsenic and other chemicals. Additionally, the lack of refrigeration encourages the growth of bacteria like salmonella, while flies deposit bacteria
बे ट्रेन के पटरियों में ही
and
बैठे हुए क्या
parasites.
सारे?
The high temperatures make the meat spoil quickly, generating toxins. This leads to food poisoning and severe gastrointestinal infections in people. I have
ये चीज़ किसी को समझ नहीं आता जी। ये फालतू चीज़
never
है।
seen anything like this in my life. The butcher shop is an entire meat market right next to the train tracks and in the middle of traffic, practically in the heart of the city. Unbelievable. Here is the butcher shop. Here
गरीबी
is
तो
the
है भाई।
market, and right in front of it are the metal bars that separate it from the train tracks. People on top of the train. And here is something I hadn't seen. There are people who don't move when the train passes, who are working in the middle of the track. This can't be. Look, I can almost touch it. Once the train passes, everything goes back to normal, and those who can't get a space off the tracks, they are installed on the
बांग्लो।
tracks. There are people on the train tracks doing business. Occurred. It's the water of wells to avoid surface contamination. So, they dug wells and realized much later that approximately 20% of all the wells were contaminated with arsenic, a mineral that affects the nervous system, causes skin cancer, lung diseases, and so on. What was initially done with the intention of improving people's quality of life ended up killing thousands. And it is said that even now some few people have no option but to continue using these wells. This is considered the greatest mass poisoning of all time. The problem with the water is so severe that I'm finding that not even the local people drink water from the tap, unlike in other countries where, when the water is contaminated, the body gets used to it and they can keep drinking. I'm told that very few people do, practically only the poorest. They are the ones who have to adapt to taking that poison, which the government takes from the water tap. They filter it, remove the arsenic, the chemicals, and sell it like this. This costs 30 takas, which is about 25 cents of a dollar, around 110 colognes. 18 liters that can even be found on the street. This is how people access better water. If one day you ever feel completely, really tangled up, man fixing it. The city's telephone lines. One of the main causes of the extreme pollution in this country is that it has one of the worst sewer